Samsung just made its boldest move in years, and it could change how we think about Exynos forever. The Galaxy S26 series is coming, but the real star of the show might just be the chip inside it. If you've been waiting for Samsung to finally take the fight to Qualcomm and Apple, this might be the moment we've all been waiting for. Welcome back, viewers. JM is here. Hit that like button, share this video with your fellow tech fans, and subscribe for more deep dives into the future of smartphones. You're going to want to stay tuned for this one because what's happening behind the scenes at Samsung right now is wild. Here's the headline. Samsung has wrapped up development of the Exynos 2600 and is about to begin mass production. This isn't just a spec bump, this is Samsung betting big on its chip division, determined to prove it can build a processor that doesn't just compete but leads. And the timing couldn't be better. The Galaxy S26 lineup is set to launch with 3 models: S26 Pro, S26 Ultra. The Pro and Edge will run Samsung's brand new Exynos 2600, while the Ultra keeps Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. At first glance, that sounds like the same old dual chip story we've heard a million times. Exynos in some regions, Snapdragon in others. But look closer and this is a completely different game. Samsung spent nearly $400 million just on Snapdragon chips for the S25 series, and Qualcomm's been hiking prices because honestly, every major brand is hooked on Snapdragon silicon. That cycle has to break, and the Exynos 2600 might be Samsung's way out. And here's where things get exciting. This chip is built on Samsung Foundry's 2nm process node, one of the most advanced manufacturing nodes in the world. Smaller process means better efficiency, higher clock speeds, and cooler operation, basically solving the exact problems Exynos chips were roasted for in the past. But it's not just promises. Geekbench results are already showing the Exynos 2600 outperforming last year's 2500 by a massive margin, 40% better single-core and 37% multi-core, and even keeping pace with Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 and Apple's A19 Pro. That's a big deal, because for years Apple's chips have been untouchable. One of the coolest innovations is Heat Pass Block, a thermal management system that spreads heat away from the CPU and GPU so the phone doesn't throttle under heavy load. That means you can game, edit videos, or multitask for longer without your phone turning into a pocket heater. And that's just the start. Samsung didn't just tweak the old design, they completely rebuilt Exynos from the ground up. New CPU architecture that's closer to Snapdragon's, a redesigned GPU, faster memory support, improved AI processing, and power efficiency that could finally match or even beat the competition. Now imagine what that means for the S26 series. The S26 Ultra is going even thinner, just 7.8 mm compared to 8.2 mm on the S25 Ultra, and still keeping the S Pen slot intact. That's impressive engineering. The S26 Pro and Edge are also slimming down, but here's the kicker. Both get a 300 mAh battery bump despite being thinner. Apple's iPhone 17 Air is still stuck with smaller batteries, so this is Samsung flexing its hardware game. But it's not just about batteries and processors. The cameras are getting serious upgrades too. The S26 Ultra is rumored to pack an improved main sensor with better low light performance, plus upgrades to the periscope telephoto for sharper zoom. Pair that with on-device AI from the Exynos 2600 and Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, and you're looking at smarter image processing that could finally dethrone the iPhone in night photography. And speaking of AI, Samsung's putting generative AI directly on the device this year. Imagine being able to edit photos with prompts, translate calls live, summarize emails, or even generate wallpapers in seconds without sending your data to the cloud. That's the kind of AI experience we've been waiting for, and it's all running locally thanks to the new chips. Of course, there's always the big question. Can Samsung actually deliver this time? Exynos has a reputation to fix, and fans aren't going to forgive another misstep. But if early benchmarks, leaks, and reports are true, this could be the redemption arc everyone's been waiting for. And this goes way beyond smartphones. If Samsung's 10nm process works, it could start making chips for other tech giants again. Think GPUs, CPUs, maybe even Apple someday. That could shake up the entire semiconductor industry, forcing TSMC to fight harder and speeding up innovation for everyone. So when the Galaxy S26 series drops, we're not just getting new phones. We might be witnessing the start of a new era for Samsung chips, one that could rewrite the rules of mobile performance. And that's why this launch feels so much bigger than just another yearly upgrade.